morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby and I warmly welcome you to the Caribbean and to my yardstead here in Trinidad and Tobago. This afternoon I want to show you guys my stash of frozen goodies. It's a habit in the Caribbean that we don't put up our extras, and so I just want to show you what I do with my extras. These are some barbadine fruits that I pulped and I label it, and I also put the date so that I use it in good possession. I've also, since I got the vacuum sealer from my husband, I've been vacuum sealing the veggies, trying to get rid of the frostbite on the veggies. It's not the very best vacuum sealer, it's a cheaper one, but it's doing a good job. It's doing something. This is my best vacuum seal packet of all. This is what I've done with the ginger that we harvested this year. So I just peel all of it and I run it through the food processor, and I vacuum seal it into very thin packages so that when I want, I just break it off as I need to, and I have my ginger as fresh as possible, frozen at the best possible time that I could have gotten to it. I didn't get to do it when I wanted to, but it's still good nonetheless, rather than leave it to dry out after working so hard to nurture the plant. So I have about 3 packs of ginger, a couple of barbadine. I have one of these in the freezer already. I tend to do this for when I don't have any plants and I want okra. These things keep really well in the freezer, especially for the dishes that we're going to use them for. Callaloo, you know, the okra rice that I just discovered. I haven't tried it as yet, but these things we can tap into. I've also got my whole basket. I'll give you a shot of the basket. I also do it with herbs because sometimes herbs don't stick around long, and because it's a container garden that I have, I tend to harvest my herbs, chop them up with olive oil and freeze them like that, and it freezes really well. So I have, this is parsley, for like when you want to do stuff like pickles breadfruit or pickle sauce, so you want a little bit of parsley. I grew it here, so what I'll do, I'll harvest my herbs and I will have that in the freezer, label it, you know, for when I need it. New thing that I've added to the stash though is this is cabbage. So I didn't want the cabbage to go bad on me, so when I was cooking most of them, the 1 or 2, this is one, it's small, but it will still make a good bojo or something in the future, you know what I'm saying? So I just chop it up and I vacuum seal it, and I have it here frozen to go into the deep freeze. So I just want to encourage you guys to really tap into preservation of your goodies from the garden in the Caribbean, because it is something that we really need to look into, especially if you have a small space. To have the biggest impact, you need to learn the preservation for the little extras that you're getting here and there. Hopefully you appreciate that tip. All right, so let's get into gardening. I'm going to get this in the freezer. This is the basket of goodies that I've accumulated over the last month, believe it or not, month and some, because I harvested this. When did we harvest this? March. We did this up in March, and so the last 2 months or so, every little bit counts and it accumulates, and it really lasts for a long time. All right, so let me get this in the freezer because I don't want it to begin to defrost, and we're going to dig into our YAM sack to see what's going on in there, because we really need to figure out what's happening. If it is decaying, dead, eaten, disappeared, we need to figure out if it's growing, and we will be able to say, okay, what we're going to do with those sacks. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, so now that our goodies are in the freezer, we are going to look into these sacks here and see what's going on inside here, guys. As you guys well know, I've explained to you why I'm doing my filming in the evening. Doctor's orders to stay out of the sun as much as possible. And so the cooler part of the evening, I'm coming out in the garden to do what I need to do in the garden. Let me stop yakking, get my gloves. Alright guys, so the moment of truth. I'm seeing a volunteer basil here. I have no problem with that basil, it can grow. But I more want the yam. I really want the yam. I really was like, oh, good Lord, I have two left hands. Alright, I'm gonna work with it. So I'm gonna show you how the grass is starting to decompose. So remember when we put the grass in, it was looking like this. And so when it stays moist, so you can see how it eventually, you know, helps that clay to turn into black gold with the repetition of the lasagna in the sack. So I also place some it's growing, it's growing. Okay, I'll try not to freak out, but it's growing. All right, so let me bring you closer. And I took off my glove and everything. I gotta put my glove back on. Hold on guys, let me compose myself and put back on my gloves and hold the camera properly and show you this yam. All right, I am back, and as I move the grass clippings out of the way, and I saw this. That is the yam, guy. It is making its appearance, and very soon we should see shoots here in this sack in the center. So we're gonna put this stuff all back, put it all back. That's right, try not to put it back too heavily. Put it all back, and that yam is gonna, it's gonna soon make its appearance. So far one sack is a success. Let's go check this one and this one. How exciting is that? Is super exciting to to see that. So can you grow yams from pieces of yam? Absolutely, absolutely. So let's check out this sack. Let's see what's going on here. Easily move away these these grass clippings. Let's see, because I don't want to damage anything. Yes, this one too is growing. This one too is doing really good. So I'm just gonna this is super exciting, guys. I gotta take off this headband. With all that excitement, I just feeling a set of pressure in my head. Listen, I started this experiment mostly for people who, the people who suffer the most in this world are those who don't have much. And consumerism is a disease that sadly is all over the world. People believe that the best comes from within a plastic bag in a grocery store or in a hardware store or in a plant nursery, when really and truly it's not the only way. Sometimes you have to get some things done for yourself if you can't afford to buy everything all at once. And so my aim was to encourage those who cannot afford to buy ready-made soils to start. And if it means using local soils, so be it. It is not impossible. Would it be a little bit more challenging? Yes, because you have to put in the work to make it into what you want it to be, which is loose soil. It's not going to happen overnight. So with this yam growing in this container, and we're going to be feeding it the compost tea and the chicken manure and all the goodies we'll be pouring into this soil over the next 9 months. When we harvest the yam, we're going to repeat this process. All this lovely organic matter will be in the soil, and when you when you mix the soil after harvesting the yam, in my case after we harvest the yam, that soil will mix in with the organic matter and becomes looser. And so you start over the process by layering the grass clipping, whatever organic matter you have. Some people even use banana trunks because it is something that is high in potassium. It has all the nutrients that you possibly could need in order to create black gold over time. You could use anything, guys, anything that is organic in nature to create your own black soil in your garden. So if you are sitting in your couch right now and saying that you can't afford to garden because it's so expensive, I am here to tell you you absolutely can. Start with one sack and a couple shovels, or 2 bucket loads of dirt from outside. If you don't have dirt in your compound or yard where you live, find it somewhere. We got too much we got too much forested areas where you could get a little bit of loose dirt. To give it a go. Give it a go, guys. So let's look into this container and see what's going on in here. Yep. I didn't even have to go far for that one. Right here in the top here, this one is showing, and it is definitely budding. And I am super thrilled. If you're thrilled, give me a big thumbs up right now. A big hell yeah thumbs up. Okay, mommy, I'm sorry, let me use a different phrase. A big you can do it thumbs up. A big yam thumbs up. All right, so these 3 sacks are working out and I am happy. So since this is working, I'm just going to straighten up these sacks, and we're going to get planted some new seedlings because the garden has some empty spots, and I need to fill them in, and I don't have any seedlings at the moment, and there's some things that I'm not seeing in the plant store that I really want. I want dill. I need more dill because I try to experiment and it seems to be working out. Let me show it to you. Oh man, I'm getting old. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Do you see this sweet pepper here and how the leaves aren't curling as yet? Now what I did is that I planted it here purposefully because dill is quite aromatic, and I was hoping that it would kind of confuse the pests, using a kind of permaculture kind of a approach. And so I planted this pepper in the back here. Let's give it a little bit of this okra a little bit of a snip because it's shading it out a bit. Give this a little snip so that the pepper can get a little bit more sunlight during the day, as well as I need to practice what we learned from a fellow YouTuber to prune the okra trees, because we don't want to grow leaves, we want to grow okras. I do find though that this variety you don't really need to do it, but we're going to do it because we want sunlight. And the pepper here is doing really good. Also, I've recognized that growing the peppers in the soil, the local soil, the plant seems to be stronger, even though it's being attacked by the thrips. it's still bearing. However, when I plant the peppers in soil that I bought, the plants are not really bearing fruit with the attack of the plant. So that is something that I've noticed. This time the plant is taller, it's more robust, the leaves are queerly distorted, but yet there's still peppers on the tree. This is an example of what I'm trying to say. So the plant is under attack, yes, I cannot refute that. I'm still coming through trying to spray off what I can, but look at that, their peppers, and they're distorted as they are, it's still producing. The both of them are still producing, and so it's given me a lot of hopes in that I can somewhat get peppers to produce by using some local soil and amending it and growing in that clay like soil, because the plants do seem stronger. They really do seem stronger than the ones that were grown in the by soil. I ripped those out already, but these ones seem to be doing a whole lot better. As well as I noticed that in the clay soil, the root nematodes that attacks peppers a lot is it's not present. There's a lot of things that I'm noticing about using the local soil for this problem that we're having. It is an environmental problem. The thrips and the spider mites have infested this county that I'm in. I think the whole of Trinidad is facing this problem, and we're struggling with it. And I this year, even though I'm not using any insecticide besides soap and essential oils of eucalyptus and peppermint, I'm still getting production. So that's a plus for those who really want to do it the organic route. It's gonna have its challenges, yes, but it can be done. You're just not gonna get the amount that you want to. That's the part that's bothering me, because guys, I said before, I used to grow to put in the freezer for us to use throughout the year, and a lot of people don't believe me when I say, gosh, my tripod, my kneecaps are screaming. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that we save thousands every year by using this little container garden. That's right, you can save thousands. All it takes is not giving up, keeping at it, and a couple of containers. Start with one container at a time, guys. Thanks for joining me this evening, and I'm pretty sure that you're stoked as I am that those yams are indeed growing in those sacks, and I hope that you're encouraged to get started, even if you can't buy it all. Start with local dirt, some compost, some container of some type, and get started, guys. Get started. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Those of you who are returning, I appreciate you, one and all. My new subscribers, my old subscribers, really appreciate each and every single one of you, and I thank you for joining me on my journey so far. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.